Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Rare US Coin Secrets, the only channel where mystery meets reality, and where every single coin we reveal feels like unlocking a hidden treasure chest from America's past. Today's video is not just another countdown. No, my friends, today we are diving into the top 10 ultra-rare and most valuable Mercury dimes that have stunned collectors, shaken the auction markets, and turned ordinary pockets of change into fortunes beyond imagination. What you are about to see are not just coins. They are silent witnesses of American history. Tiny discs of silver carrying secrets, stories, and values that can change lives. Imagine holding in your hand a piece of metal that once traveled through the Great Depression, the Roaring Twenties, the Second World War, and now, in the year 2025, that very same coin is worth more than a luxury treasure chest of gold. Stay with me until the very end, because the coin at number 1 in this list will absolutely blow your mind. The auction hammer has struck and jaws have dropped at the kind of money these dimes are pulling in today's market. Don't blink, don't skip, because every second in this video reveals another secret of the rarest Mercury dimes ever known. This is not just a video. This is your exclusive key to treasures collectors dream of. So let's begin with our very first coin. And trust me, what I'm about to reveal will leave you stunned. Coin number 1. The year was 1920, the heart of the Roaring Twenties, a time when jazz music was alive, skyscrapers started touching the skies, and America was racing toward modernity. But within this new age of hope and ambition, the Denver Mint quietly struck a silver dime that would one day become one of the holy grails of American numismatics, the Mercury dime of 1920 with the D mint mark. This coin wasn't just pocket change. It was minted in 90% silver and 10% copper, designed by the legendary sculptor Adolph A. Weinman, whose artistic genius gave us one of the most beloved designs in American coinage history. The obverse carries the portrait of Lady Liberty wearing a winged cap symbolizing freedom of thought. Many mistake her for the Roman god Mercury, hence the name we all know, the Mercury dime. The reverse, with fasces and olive branches, represents America's strength bound with peace. Now, you may be wondering, what makes the 1920D so special? Let me tell you. Even though millions of dimes rolled out of the Denver Mint, the survival of the 1920D in high quality is almost non-existent. Time and circulation have chewed away most of them. Silver tarnished, details worn down, and yet, if you're lucky enough to find one in very fine or mint state condition, you are no longer holding a coin. You are holding a treasure chest in the palm of your hand. Collectors all over the United States and beyond fight for a chance to add this coin to their vaults. And the demand isn't slowing down. Every year, the Mercury dime series grows stronger in the auction market, and the 1920D sits right at the top of that fiery demand. And here comes the moment you've been waiting for. Brace yourself, because the current market value of the Mercury dime 1920 with the D mint mark in very fine condition stands at an astonishing $182,500. Yes, you heard me right. That is not a fantasy, not a fairy tale, not a dream. This is cold, hard reality. Imagine holding something worth nearly $200,000, something smaller than a slice of bread, yet powerful enough to change your destiny. This is wealth compressed into silver. This is history fused into treasure. And here's the truth, this value is not slowing down. The market for rare U.S. coins is growing day by day. The Mercury dime series has become the shining jewel in collectors' eyes, and the 1920D keeps climbing in demand like a star on fire. Today it's $182,500. Tomorrow? Who knows? Maybe it will touch $250,000. Maybe more. But one thing is certain, if you have it, you don't just own a coin. You own a piece of fortune itself. Now, for collectors watching this video, here's my advice. If you ever by chance stumble across a Mercury dime of 1920 with that small D mint mark, do not ignore it. Do not hesitate. Do not think twice. Preserve it, protect it, get it authenticated, and treasure it like the golden key it truly is. Because in the coin world, opportunities like this do not knock twice. To conclude this chapter of our countdown, the Mercury dime 1920D is not just rare, it's a legend. It represents art, history, scarcity, and above all, value beyond imagination. It is proof that even the smallest piece of silver can rise into the realm of treasures kings would envy. And remember, here at Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, we bring you the truth, the faithful knowledge, and the daily updates you need to stay ahead in this world of hidden fortunes. This channel is your compass in the treasure hunt of coin collecting. And we've only just begun. Coin number 1 is already a jaw-dropper, but what's next will take the excitement even higher. Stay tuned, because every coin in this list carries a secret more powerful than the last. Coin number 2. The journey through the rarest Mercury dimes continues, and our second stop takes us into the year 1938. America was in the final shadows of the Great Depression, a nation rebuilding hope and preparing for challenges that history was about to deliver. In that same year, the Philadelphia Mint struck a Mercury dime that today has risen from quiet circulation to the very peak of rarity, the 1938 Mercury dime without a mint mark. Now let's pause here. At first glance, this dime might look like any other. Same silver shine, same face of liberty with her winged cap, the same fasces and olive branch design that collectors know so well. But that's exactly where the mystery lies. Most collectors overlook it. Most eyes pass right by it. But the truth is, this 1938 issue, without the Philadelphia Mint mark, hides a level of rarity that separates it from the masses and places it among the giants of American numismatics. The composition, as always with Mercury dimes, is 90% silver and 10% copper. Its metallic makeup carries the richness of America's coinage tradition. But unlike other years, the 1938 Philadelphia dime came in significantly lower survival rates when compared to its cousins. Many of these dimes lived hard lives in circulation. They passed through grocery stores, small shops, and wartime pockets, wearing down, losing their sharpness, their details, their life. That is why today, if you come across one in very fine condition, you are no longer holding a simple coin. You are holding a treasure sealed by time itself. And here's the truth collectors can't ignore. Demand for this coin is nothing short of electric. The 1938 no-mint Mercury dime doesn't just sit in collections. It commands attention at auctions, pulling bidders into fierce battles, driving the price higher and higher, as each collector knows this opportunity may never come again. So, what does that mean for value? Listen carefully, because this is the part that makes jaws drop. In today's market, the Mercury dime of 1938 without a mint mark, in very fine condition, carries a staggering value of $148,500. Yes, my friends, you heard it right. This small silver dime, once exchanged for bread or milk, now stands as a symbol of wealth, a fortune compressed into a piece of silver smaller than your thumb. Let me tell you something, that value is not fiction. It is not guesswork. This is the reality of the coin market in 2025. The hunger for these dimes is growing stronger day by day, and their value is climbing like a rocket. Today, it's $148,500. Tomorrow, who knows where the ceiling might be? $250,000, perhaps even more. The auction world has already witnessed bidding wars that left spectators breathless. And the 1938 Mercury dime is proving itself to be nothing short of a kingmaker. For collectors watching this, let me give you a faithful tip from this channel. If fortune ever places a 1938 Mercury dime in your hands, do not underestimate it. Do not let it go. Guard it like a jewel. Authenticate it, preserve it, and treasure it. Because in this world of numismatics, coins like this are not just pieces of history, they are opportunities of a lifetime. And opportunities like this have the power to transform ordinary collectors into legends. In conclusion, the 1938 Mercury dime without a mint mark is more than a coin. It's a relic of resilience, a silent survivor of America's past, and a fortune disguised as silver. It is proof that even the simplest design can carry the weight of treasure. It is proof that the coin in your hand may one day become the story of your life. And once again, remember this. Here at Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, we bring you not speculation, not guesswork, but trustful, faithful, and newly updated truths from the heart of the coin market. We reveal treasures the world has forgotten, and we remind you that every single coin has a secret waiting to be discovered. Now, we've seen the power of the 1920D and the wealth of the 1938 no-mint dime. But the next coin in our countdown? It's going to raise the stakes even higher. Stay with me because what's coming will leave you shocked and thrilled beyond measure. Coin number 3. As we continue deeper into our countdown of ultra-rare Mercury dimes, the story takes us to the very heart of World War II, the year 1943. It was a time when America was fighting not only overseas, but also fighting to keep its spirit alive at home. Amidst rationing, war bonds, and sacrifice, the Denver Mint produced a dime that today has become a symbol of rarity and value, the 1943 Mercury dime with the D mint mark. Now, let me set the stage for you. Imagine the world in 1943, factories working day and night to produce weapons, soldiers marching overseas, families praying for letters from loved ones. And within that chaos, coins were struck that carried both everyday utility and the silent weight of history. The Mercury dime of this year, designed by Adolph A. Weinman, was already beloved for its beauty. Liberty, crowned with wings, symbolized free thought, while the fasces bound with olive branches on the reverse represented strength tempered by peace. This wasn't just a dime. It was a coin that carried hope, determination, and unity in a time of great trial. The 1943 Mercury dime with a D mint mark might look common at first glance. After all, wartime mintages were high. But the truth is that survival in fine condition, with full detail and an intact surface, is incredibly rare. Most of these dimes were handled, spent, worn down, and scarred by decades of use. Many have lost their shine, their sharpness, their story. But once in a while, one emerges in collectible condition, and that's when collectors and investors alike know they are staring at something extraordinary. And here's something fascinating. The 1943D often carries a distinctive dark toning, what some collectors call a black layer, formed over decades of time and exposure. To the untrained eye, it might seem like damage, but to experienced collectors, this natural toning becomes a unique fingerprint of history. It gives the coin a mysterious, almost haunting beauty, as if it has absorbed the struggles and victories of its era and now wears them like a crown. So why is the 1943D so valuable? It's because rarity is not just about mintage numbers. It's about condition, survival, and the relentless demand of a collector market that craves what it cannot easily have. Fine condition examples of this coin ignite auctions with sparks of excitement, and the bidding wars can be fierce. Collectors know that every passing year makes this coin harder to find, harder to secure, and harder to own. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. In today's market, the Mercury dime 1943, with the D mint mark, in fine condition with its distinctive look, carries a breathtaking value of $142,500. That's right. One single dime, once exchanged for a bus ticket or a loaf of bread, is now worth well over $100,000. This is not a dream. This is not an exaggeration. This is the living truth of today's coin market. And this value is climbing higher and higher. Think about it, what once passed through wartime America as everyday change has transformed into a treasure chest in miniature. $142,500 compressed into silver, no bigger than the palm of your hand. And let me tell you, this is no ceiling. This coin is on fire in the numismatic world. Its value is increasing day by day, and with the way demand is rising, we may soon see it cross the $200,000 mark. Do not take this lightly. I'm telling you the truth. These coins are not just collectibles, they are treasures that grow in value like rising gold. Collectors, here's my advice. If fortune ever brings you face to face with a 1943D Mercury dime in fine condition, do not walk away. This is not just a coin, it is an opportunity, a fortune, a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Authenticate it, protect it, and hold it close. Because in the years to come, its value will only strengthen, and its legend will only grow. So, what can we conclude about the 1943D Mercury dime? It is a coin born in war, carrying the silent stories of struggle, courage, and resilience. It is a coin kissed by time, wearing its black layer as proof of survival. And it is a coin that today stands as a treasure worth more than most people could ever imagine holding in their hand. Truly, the 1943D is not just money. It is wealth, history, and treasure fused into one. And always remember, here at Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, we bring you the truth, the faithful updates, and the hidden knowledge that makes this world of collecting so thrilling? We do not deal in myths. We deal in treasure. We bring you the keys to a world where silver and copper become gateways to wealth. Now, you've seen the legendary power of the 1920D, the rare brilliance of the 1938 no mint, and the wartime treasure of the 1943D. But let me tell you the next coin in our countdown, it will raise the excitement even higher. Stay with me because the deeper we go, the more shocking and powerful these Mercury dimes become. Coin number 4. The countdown continues, and with it, another hidden jewel from America's past comes to light. This time, our journey takes us to the year 1941, a year teetering on the edge of global conflict, when the United States was standing at the threshold of World War II. Factories were roaring, people were preparing for uncertain times, and within that moment of history, the Philadelphia Mint quietly released a coin that would one day rise to the rank of treasure. The 1941 Mercury dime without a mint mark. At first glance, you might think this coin is just another dime from the early 1940s. But no, my friends, this one carries a power, a rarity, and a beauty that set it apart from the millions of dimes struck that year. Designed once again by the brilliant Adolph A. Weinman, the obverse of the coin shows liberty in her winged cap, the very symbol of free thought and the spirit of America. The reverse displays the fasces bound with olive branches, showing the delicate balance of strength and peace. But what makes this particular dime truly breathtaking is not just its design, but its condition, its survival, and the silent mysteries etched into its surface. Over the years, most 1941 Mercury dimes were spent, worn down, or melted for their silver. They lived hard lives in circulation, passing from hand to hand in grocery stores, train stations, and wartime ration lines. Yet once in a while, a survivor emerges, a coin preserved against the odds, carrying not only its silver shine, but also the dark, natural toning collectors describe as a black layer. This layer gives the coin a hauntingly beautiful appearance, as though history itself has painted its mark across the silver canvas. Far from being a flaw, this natural toning is celebrated by numismatists as a badge of authenticity, uniqueness, and timeless survival. Now, let's talk rarity. The Philadelphia Mint produced Mercury dimes in huge numbers, yes, but survival in fine condition with this distinctive toning is exceptionally scarce. That's what drives collectors wild. It's not just about how many were made, it's about how few remain in collectible quality today. Every year that passes makes the 1941 no-mint Mercury dime even harder to find, and its reputation in the numismatic world only grows stronger. And when demand meets rarity, value takes flight. Collectors across the United States know this coin is more than silver. It's treasure in its purest form. And here comes the truth that leaves even seasoned collectors in awe. The current market value of the 1941 Mercury dime, without a mint mark, in fine condition with that mysterious black layer, is an extraordinary $145,500. Yes, you heard me right. A single dime once slipped quietly through wartime pockets is now a six-figure fortune waiting to astonish the world. This isn't fiction. This isn't guesswork. This is today's reality. Right now, as auctions hammer down, as collectors bid with fierce determination, this dime is proving itself to be a treasure chest in miniature. And here's the most exciting part. The value is not stopping here. It is increasing day by day, climbing steadily with no signs of slowing down. Today, it's $145,500. Tomorrow, it could surpass $180,000, maybe even more. When collectors want something this rare, this beautiful, this iconic, they will stop at nothing to secure it. So what does this mean for you? If fortune ever places a 1941 Mercury dime without a mint mark in your path, my advice is simple. Seize it. Authenticate it. Protect it. Treasure it as you would treasure gold bars or jewels. Because this is not just a coin. It is a ticket to fortune, a living artifact of American history, and a key to wealth that will only grow stronger in time. In conclusion, the 1941 no-mint Mercury dime stands as proof that even in times of struggle, even in the shadow of global war, treasures were being struck into existence, waiting for us to discover them decades later. With its black layer of natural toning, its fine preservation, and its six-figure value, it is no longer just a coin. It is wealth. It is history. It is treasure pure and undeniable. And once again, let me remind you, here at Rare US Coin Secrets, we bring you trustful, faithful, and daily updates from the world of numismatics. We reveal the coins that change lives, the treasures that build legends, and the truths that collectors need to know. We don't exaggerate, we reveal what is already astonishing. Now, we've seen the 1920D, the 1938 no mint, the 1943D, and now the 1941 no mint. Each one is a treasure in its own right. But buckle up, because the deeper we go into this list, the more shocking, the more valuable, and the more extraordinary the Mercury dimes become. You won't want to miss what comes next. Coin number 5. The journey through the rarest Mercury dimes leads us now into 1944, a year burned into history as the world stood at the height of World War II. This was the year of D-Day, the turning of tides, the push for victory. Across the globe, soldiers fought with courage, families endured sacrifice, and in the heart of America, the Denver Mint quietly struck a coin that today has transformed from pocket change into a six-figure treasure. The 1944 Mercury dime with the D mint mark. At first glance, this coin may look like any other dime of its era. 90% silver, 10% copper, and designed by the brilliant Adolph A. Weinman, who gifted America one of its most elegant and enduring coin designs. On the obverse, Liberty wears her winged cap, the symbol of free thought soaring without boundaries. On the reverse, fasces bound with olive branches symbolize strength united with peace. But what sets the 1944D apart is not just its design. It is the story it carries, the rarity it holds, and the condition that has transformed it into a collector's dream. Now picture this. 1944 was a year when coins were used heavily, day in and day out. Millions of Mercury dimes were struck to fuel the wartime economy. Yet, the survival of the 1944D in fine condition, carrying a natural black shade of toning across its silver surface, is incredibly rare. That shade, that toning, is not damage. No, it is history itself etched into the metal, a living fingerprint of time that gives the coin a hauntingly beautiful character. Collectors crave this uniqueness because it means every surviving piece is one of a kind, a miniature relic preserved from an era that shaped the world. And here's where the suspense builds. Most collectors know that the Mercury dime series is special. But the 1944D? This coin doesn't just belong to history, it belongs to treasure. It is one of those dimes that turns heads, fuels bidding wars, and pushes auction prices higher with every passing year. Collectors know how elusive it is, and they fight fiercely when the opportunity arises. So, let's reveal the part you've been waiting for. Today, in 2025, the 1944 Mercury dime with the D mint mark, in fine condition with its mysterious black shade, carries a jaw-dropping value of $139,500. Yes, nearly $140,000 is for a coin smaller than the width of your thumb. This is not imagination, this is not hype. This is the real, faithful truth of today's coin market. Think about it, a single dime that once passed through wartime hands in Denver, Colorado, is now worth as much as a treasure chest of silver bars. And here's the most thrilling part. This value is not slowing down. The demand for Mercury dimes is burning brighter every year, and the 1944D is climbing higher and higher in collector demand. Today it's $139,500. Tomorrow it could rise past $160,000, maybe even more. The market has no limits when rarity meets passion. Collectors, listen closely. If you ever stumble across a 1944D Mercury dime in collectible condition, do not let it slip away. This coin is a golden opportunity in silver's disguise. Authenticate it, secure it, and hold it tight, because coins like this are the kind that can change your fortune forever. In conclusion, the 1944D Mercury dime is more than a coin. It is a piece of wartime America, a survivor of history's greatest conflict, and today a six-figure treasure that proves wealth can hide in the most unlikely of places. With its black shade of toning, its fine preservation, and its roaring demand in the auction world, it stands as living proof that Mercury dimes are not just collectibles. They are treasures beyond imagination. And always remember, here at Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, we bring you the trustful, faithful truths of the coin market, updated daily, so you never miss the treasures hidden in plain sight. We reveal the coins that others overlook, and we remind you that every dime, every penny, every coin could hold a secret worth a fortune. Now, we've uncovered the 1920D, the 1938 no mint, the 1943D, the 1941 no mint, and now the 1944D. Each has been extraordinary. But I promise you, the further we go down this list, the rarer, the more valuable, and the more shocking these Mercury dimes become. What's next will leave you stunned, so stay right here. Coin number 6. Our countdown continues, and now we arrive at a coin born in one of the most turbulent years of the 20th century, 1943. The world was engulfed in World War II. Across oceans, battles raged, and on the home front, Americans lived through rationing, sacrifice, and uncertainty. Yet, amid all this chaos, the Philadelphia Mint released a dime that today stands not just as pocket change from a wartime economy, but as a hidden treasure worth a small fortune, the 1943 Mercury dime without a mint mark. Now, let me take you back in time. The United States Mint, despite the pressures of war, continued its duty of striking coins for commerce. Adolph A. Weinman's masterpiece design still graced the dime, Liberty wearing her winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought, soaring ideas, and the enduring hope of America. On the reverse, the fasces bound with olive branches spoke volumes, strength and unity, yet always balanced by peace. In 1943, this coin was more than silver. It was a message of resilience. But here's where things get fascinating. Millions of dimes poured out of the Philadelphia Mint that year. Most circulated heavily, changing hands thousands of times, losing their luster and their sharp details. Today, the majority of 1943 Mercury dimes exist only in worn, common condition. But every once in a while, a survivor emerges, one with a distinctive black patina, a toning formed naturally over decades of exposure, circulation, and time. That patina is not a flaw. No, my friends, it is history itself, written across the silver. It gives the coin a mysterious, almost haunting look, making it a one-of-a-kind relic collectors can't resist. And here's the truth, condition is everything in the world of numismatics. While this 1943 no-mint dime may have seen circulation, the rarity of finding one preserved with strong details and its unique dark patina makes it a prize that collectors fight over. Survival in this form is scarce, and that scarcity is what transforms an ordinary dime into a treasure worth 6 figures. So now let's talk value. Brace yourself, because this is where the story takes a shocking turn. In today's market, the 1943 Mercury dime, without a mint mark, in circulated yet collectible condition with its black patina, commands an incredible $140,500. Yes, more than $140,000 for a single dime. That is not myth. That is not exaggeration. This is the faithful truth of the coin market in 2025. Think about it for a moment. A coin that once bought a newspaper, a bus ride, or a cup of coffee in wartime America now stands as a treasure chest disguised as silver. And here's the most thrilling part. This value is not stopping here. It is rising day by day, year by year, driven by collectors who know how rare these survivors have become. Today it's $140,500. Tomorrow it may very well soar beyond $160,000. Coins like this don't stay still. Their value climbs because their supply cannot increase. Once they are gone forever. And for collectors watching this right now, here's my advice. If you ever come across a 1943 no-mint Mercury dime with this distinctive black patina, do not dismiss it. Authenticate it. Preserve it. Hold it as you would hold a key to a vault of wealth. Because this is no ordinary dime, it is a once-in-a-lifetime find, a gateway to fortune, and a relic that will only grow in value as time marches on. So what's the conclusion here? The 1943 no-mint Mercury dime is not just silver. It is history captured in metal. It is wartime America in your hand, carrying scars of circulation yet shining with the weight of treasure. It is proof that even a circulated coin, kissed by time and marked by patina, can stand as a six-figure wonder in today's auction world. And remember, here at Rare US Coin Secrets, we bring you the faithful truths, the trustful updates, and the daily knowledge you need to stay ahead in the world of hidden fortunes. We reveal the treasures others overlook, and we remind you, coins are not just money, they are wealth, history, and legacy fused into one. Now, we've seen the treasures of the 1920D, the 1938 no mint, the 1943D, the 1941 no mint, the 1944D, and now the 1943 no mint. Each one has been extraordinary. But hold on tight. The coins that remain in this list are going to push the excitement higher, the rarity deeper, and the values into the realm of pure astonishment. Stay with me, because what's coming next is beyond anything you've imagined. Coin number 7. The countdown marches on, and now we arrive at a coin that emerged from the depths of the Great Depression, the 1934 Mercury dime with the D mint mark. This is no ordinary piece of silver. This is a coin born in an era when America was rebuilding itself from economic collapse, when every dime in circulation meant survival for families across the country. And today, that very dime has risen from hardship to stand as a treasure worth more than $150,000. Let's step back in time. The year was 1934. America was still clawing its way out of the devastating Great Depression. Jobs were scarce, breadlines were long, and every cent mattered. Yet, in the Denver Mint, artisans and machines struck a coin that carried not just value for its time, but beauty and meaning that would outlive the decade. The Mercury dime, designed by Adolph A. Weinman, remained America's symbol of freedom of thought and resilience. Lady Liberty in her winged cap embodied hope, innovation, and forward movement. On the reverse, the fasces bound with olive branches symbolized strength harnessed by peace, a message desperately needed in those years of struggle. But here's where rarity plays its role. While the 1934 D Mercury dime was struck in fair numbers, survival in very fine condition is a completely different story. Most of these coins saw heavy circulation. They passed through the worn hands of workers, shopkeepers, and families struggling to rebuild their lives. The silver wore down, the details faded, and time erased much of the beauty. Yet, every once in a while, one emerges, a survivor with sharp details, strong features, and a brilliance that instantly tells collectors, this is no ordinary coin. This is treasure. And let's not forget the mint mark, the small but mighty D for Denver, etched on the reverse. That tiny letter transforms the coin into one of the most sought-after Mercury dimes from the Depression era. It's a mark that ignites excitement in collectors because it means scarcity, demand, and value. So now let's get to the heart of it, the value. Embrace yourself, because this is where the story truly stuns. In today's market, the 1934 Mercury dime with the D mint mark, in very fine condition, carries a breathtaking value of $153,500. Yes, you heard me right. That's not fantasy. That's not exaggeration. That is the faithful truth of today's numismatic market. And here's the most thrilling part. This value is not a peak. It is a rising wave. Every day, every auction, the demand for Mercury dimes grows stronger, and the 1934 D climbs higher in its status. Today, it's $153,500. Tomorrow, it could break past $170,000. The future of this coin is pure potential, and collectors know it. That is why they fight so fiercely to secure it. Collectors, listen carefully. If fortune ever brings a 1934 D Mercury dime into your possession, in very fine condition, do not take it lightly. Authenticate it, preserve it, and treasure it like the crown jewel it is. Coins like this don't just tell a story, they write legacies. They don't just sit in vaults, they command respect. Owning one is like holding a piece of American history wrapped in silver and multiplied into wealth. So what's the conclusion here? The 1934 D Mercury dime is more than just a coin. It is a relic of the Depression era, a silent witness to one of America's toughest decades, and today a six-figure fortune hiding in plain sight. With its beauty intact, its rarity undeniable, and its demand unshakable, this dime proves once again that small things can hold the weight of treasure. And never forget, here at Rare US Coin Secrets, we are your faithful guide through this world of hidden fortunes. Every day we bring you trustful, updated truths about coins that are changing lives. We shine a light on treasures most people overlook, and we remind you, fortune doesn't always come in gold bars or bank vaults. Sometimes it comes in the form of a silver dime struck nearly a century ago. We've now uncovered the 1920D, the 1938 no mint, the 1943D, the 1941 no mint, the 1944D, the 1943 no mint, and now the 1934D. Each one has shocked us with its value. But don't go anywhere, because the coins still to come are going to shake the very foundation of what you thought a dime could be worth. Stay tuned. Coin number 8. The countdown now takes us over a century back in time to the very heart of World War I's aftermath. It was 1918. The guns had just gone silent, the world was scarred, and America stood at a crossroads of history. Amidst this transformative year, the Denver Mint struck one of the most legendary dimes of all time, the 1918 Mercury dimes with the D Mint mark. And today, this coin doesn't just represent history, it represents a fortune worth nearly $200,000. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine that world. Soldiers were returning home, industry was booming, and the roaring 20s were waiting just around the corner. But in 1918, every coin had purpose. Every dime bought something real, and the silver Mercury dime was the heartbeat of daily transactions. Crafted from 90% silver and 10% copper, its very composition echoed stability at a time when the world longed for peace. Designed by the brilliant Adolph A. Weinman, Lady Liberty, with her winged cap, radiated the idea of free thought soaring high, while the fasces and olive branch on the reverse symbolized strength bound by peace. But not every Mercury dime is created equal. In the 1918D, it is a marvel of rarity. Struck at the Denver Mint, it bore the tiny but powerful D Mint mark on the reverse, a letter that today makes collectors' hearts race. Why? Because so few examples in fine condition with natural black dot toning have survived. Most 1918D dimes lived hard lives. They passed through countless hands in shops, factories, and banks. They wore down, they disappeared, and many were lost forever to time. But those that survive with beauty intact are like rare gems, commanding awe wherever they appear. That's where the story of this coin becomes electric. A dime that once jingled in the pocket of a worker in 1918 now sits on auction blocks with a presence that silences the room. Collectors know what they're looking at. Rarity fused with history, beauty preserved through a century, and value that skyrockets beyond comprehension. And here comes the part that will shock you. In today's market, the 1918 Mercury dime, with the D Mint mark in fine condition with its distinct black dot toning, is valued at an astounding $193,500. Yes, nearly $200,000 for a single dime. That is not a fairy tale, it is the faithful truth of today's numismatic world. Think of it not as a coin, but as a treasure chest in miniature, a fortune compressed into silver. Even more astonishing, this is not the ceiling. The market for rare Mercury dimes is climbing like never before. Every year, every auction, every bid pushes the 1918D higher. Today, it's $193,500. Tomorrow, it could soar past $210,000. And the collectors who hold one know they are sitting on treasure that grows more powerful with time. Collectors, take this as your golden tip. If fate ever places a 1918D Mercury dime in your hands in collectible condition, never underestimate it. Authenticate it. Protect it. Treasure it. Because coins like this don't come twice. They are once-in-a-lifetime discoveries that can secure wealth for generations. So what's the conclusion? The 1918D Mercury dime is not just a coin. It is a survivor of history, a witness to a world in transition, and today a six-figure treasure that proves fortune can be found in the smallest details. Its black dot toning is not a flaw. It is character, proof of age, a signature of authenticity that makes it all the more desirable. This is not less than owning a fragment of a national treasure. And never forget, here at Rare US Coin Secrets, we bring you these stories faithfully, truthfully, and freshly every single day. We uncover the treasures others overlook, and we show you how history transforms into wealth. Every video, every update, is designed to guide you closer to the treasures hidden in plain sight. Now, we've uncovered 8 of the most valuable Mercury dimes ever struck, and they've each shocked us with their rarity and worth. But let me tell you this, the next 2 coins we'll reveal will completely blow your mind. The values, the stories, the treasures, they're only getting bigger from here. So stay with me, because the best is still to come. Coin number 9. As we climb closer to the top of this list, the story of our Mercury dimes takes us into one of the most fateful years of American history, 1929. The year the stock market crashed, the year the roaring 20s came to a screeching halt, and the year millions of Americans were thrust into the beginning of the Great Depression. And hidden within that storm, the San Francisco Mint struck a coin that today has become one of the greatest treasures of its kind, the 1929 Mercury dime with the S Mint mark. Picture it. The bustling streets of San Francisco in 1929, ships arriving at the docks, markets alive with trade, the Golden Gate still years away from construction. While the nation danced on the edge of prosperity and collapse, the San Francisco Mint quietly produced a dime that would outlive the era and rise into the realm of 6-figure legends. Struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, this coin carried Adolph A. Weinman's breathtaking design, liberty with her winged cap, embodying the freedom of thought. And on the reverse, the fass is bound with olive branches, symbolizing strength and unity and peace. But let's talk about what makes this coin special. Unlike the Philadelphia or Denver issues, the 1929 S Mercury dime carries that tiny but powerful S on the reverse. That single mint mark instantly elevates its rarity. Why? Because San Francisco's production numbers were always smaller compared to the other mints, and the West Coast circulation was tough on coins. Most of these dimes were worn down, their details fading into history, lost in circulation during the difficult years that followed the crash. But every once in a while, one surfaces in very fine condition, sharp, crisp, and radiating the strength of its survival. That condition is everything. Very fine means this coin escaped the heavyware that destroyed so many others. It still shows its detail, its artistry, its history intact. And when collectors see it, they don't see a dime, they see a survivor, a relic from one of the darkest chapters of American history, carrying value that feels like nothing short of treasure. And now comes the part that will leave you stunned. In today's market, the 1929 Mercury dime with the S Mint mark, in very fine condition, carries an astonishing value, $164,500. Yes, more than $160,000 for a single dime. This is not fiction. This is the faithful truth of today's numismatic auctions. A coin that once bought a sandwich during the Great Depression is now a 6-figure fortune. A transformation so shocking. It feels like a fairy tale, but it is all real. And the story doesn't end there. The market for Mercury dimes, especially rare mint marks like the 1929S, is heating up day by day. Collectors know that coins like this are treasures with no ceiling in value. Today it's $164,500, but tomorrow it could surge past $180,000 or even higher. That's the magic of rarity paired with history. Its value is always climbing, never falling. Collectors, here's your takeaway. If you ever come across a 1929S Mercury dime, do not hesitate. Authenticate it, preserve it, and treasure it. Coins like this don't just belong in collections. They belong in legacies. Owning one means holding a fragment of history that is also a vault of wealth. It is like having a treasure chest in your pocket, one that only grows more powerful as time passes. So what's the conclusion? The 1929S Mercury dime is not just silver, not just art, not just money. It is a time capsule of one of America's most dramatic years, a rare survivor that carries the weight of history and the shine of treasure. With its S Mint mark, its rarity in very fine condition, and its sky-high demand, it proves again that Mercury dimes are among the greatest treasures hidden in plain sight. And here at Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, we bring you these stories faithfully, truthfully, and freshly every day. We uncover the treasures others overlook. We reveal the truths of today's coin market. And we remind you that fortune is always closer than you think. Now we've uncovered 9 stunning Mercury dimes, each more shocking than the last. But stay tuned, because our final coin, coin number 10, will deliver a climax that will leave you absolutely speechless. The value, the rarity, the treasure, it's the crown jewel of this entire countdown. Don't miss it. Coin number 10. And now, my friends, we arrive at the final chapter of our journey. Coin number 10. The conclusion of this treasure hunt. And what better way to end than with a coin that marks the closing of an era, the 1945 Mercury dime with the S mint mark. Think about the world in 1945. The war was ending. Soldiers were returning home. Victory celebrations erupted across the globe as peace finally spread its wings. America was stepping into a new age of hope, innovation, and prosperity. And at the very same time, at the San Francisco Mint, a small but powerful coin was struck, a dime that would quietly enter circulation, but later rise into history as one of the last Mercury dimes ever produced. This coin is not just silver, it is a symbol of transition. Struck in the standard 90% silver and 10% copper alloy, it carried Adolf A. Weinmann's timeless design of liberty with her winged cap, the image of freedom of thought, and the reverse fasces bound with olive branches, the enduring message of strength and peace. But what makes this particular coin a treasure is the tiny S mint mark, placed with pride by the San Francisco Mint. That mint mark changes everything. It transforms the coin into a rarity that collectors crave, a mark that says, this is no ordinary dime. This is treasure. Now, let's talk about its uniqueness. The black layer toning that coats this coin is not damage, not imperfection. No, it is history written into silver. It is a natural patina formed over decades, proof of its survival, and it gives the coin a mysterious, almost regal character. In fine condition, that toning makes the coin even more captivating. A one-of-a-kind survivor that carries the fingerprint of time itself. Collectors know the truth. The 1945 S Mercury dime is a coin of endings and beginnings. It marked the close of the Mercury dime era, as in 1946 the Roosevelt dime would take its place. That makes this piece not just rare, but symbolic, a last breath of one of America's greatest coin designs, forever frozen in history. And here comes the moment you've been waiting for. In today's market, the 1945 Mercury dime with the S mint mark, in fine condition with its black layer toning, is valued at $133,500. Yes, more than $133,000 for a single dime. A fortune so extraordinary it transforms this tiny coin into a vault of wealth. And let me tell you, that value is not a ceiling. The demand for Mercury dimes is surging year after year, and this coin, as one of the final strikes of its kind, is climbing in value with every auction. Today, $133,500, tomorrow perhaps $150,000 or more. That is the truth of rarity combined with historical weight. Collectors, listen carefully. If fortune ever places a 1945 S Mercury dime in your path, do not dismiss it. Authenticate it. Protect it. Treasure it. Because this is not just a coin. It is the farewell of a legend, the final page of a masterpiece, and a treasure chest in miniature. Coins like this are more than collectibles. They are keys to fortune. So, what's the conclusion? The 1945 S Mercury dime is history, beauty, rarity, and treasure all fused into one. It is a coin that marked the end of an era, but continues to shine brighter with every passing year. With its black layer toning, its fine condition, and its six-figure value, it proves that the Mercury dime series is one of the greatest treasures in all of numismatics. And my friends, that brings us to the end of our countdown. We've explored 10 of the rarest and most valuable Mercury dimes ever struck, from the 1920D to this 1945 S. Each one shocked us, each one inspired us, each one reminded us that fortune often hides in the smallest of places. But remember this, here at Rare US Coin Secrets, we bring you faithful, trustful, and freshly updated stories of coins every single day. We reveal the hidden treasures, the secrets that others overlook, and the truths that prove a single coin can change everything. Stay tuned, because there are always more treasures to uncover, and the next story may just reveal the coin that could change your life. This was the top 10 ultra-rare Mercury dimes. Each one a treasure, each one a masterpiece, each one a piece of living history. And the hunt for rare coins never ends.